Episode 143. Don't touch me. Startled, Nanny Harper quickly went up and exclaimed, "Captain Robinson!" Looking at the captain in that state, Nola was terrified. As Nanny Harper waved her hands, Nola shrank back. She was worried, but Nanny Harper's moves were smooth and steady. Laying the captain on his back, she instructed a dumbfounded Nola and growled, "Don't just stand there! Call an ambulance!" "Right." Nola immediately got up and dialed the number. Nanny Harper roared in a broken voice, "The medicine is upstairs! Go get it!" While on the phone, Nola heard Nanny Harper's voice and immediately stumbled upstairs asking, "Which room?" "The first on the left." Hearing her cry, Nola went inside Captain Robinson's bedroom. Searching all over, she did not find it. "Did you find it? It's in the drawer!" While performing CPR, Nanny Harper exclaimed. The phone call went through. Nola said the address and flipped through the drawer. However, the medicine Nanny Harper spoke of was not in the drawer. The second drawer was locked. Taking the huge glass ornament on the nightstand, Nola hit the second drawer hard. The ornament broke and the lock was damaged as well. Nola yanked it open and did not see any medicine, but only a semi-transparent folder through which she saw the title, Divorce Contract. Halfway through her class, Serena got the message telling her that Grandpa was in the hospital. Under everyone's gaze, Serena hurriedly walked out of the classroom and to the hospital. Captain Robinson was in a coma. Nola was crying out loud. Jake was consoling his mother. Seeing Serena enter, he immediately went to her. Out of breath, Serena grabbed Jake's sleeve and asked, "What happened? How's Grandpa?" "He had a heart attack." Serena heard that and almost teared up, exclaiming, "How did that happen? Grandpa has always been in good health. How did he suddenly have a heart attack?" Grabbing Serena, Jake gazed at her and said, "Calm down. Grandpa will be fine. Don't overthink it." Serena's tears immediately fell. "Nothing's going to happen. Nothing was going to happen. In her previous lifetime, Grandpa had lived so long, so nothing would happen to him now, right? Of course, nothing will." Although she tried to comfort herself, Serena could not stop herself from crying and being terrified. She was so scared. In this lifetime, too much had changed. In her previous lifetime, she had been protected by Grandpa, while Jake had hated her guts. So, in this lifetime, just because she had earned Jake's heart, God was taking Grandpa away from her. Right? No. What should we do? Serena couldn't stop being emotional. Jake took her in his arms, and keeping his own fears in check, he whispered, "Don't worry. Grandpa will be fine. He will live a long and healthy life. Don't scare yourself." Nola Robinson was still holding the folder she found from the drawer. Looking at the couple hugging each other, she suddenly felt it was a joke. They had an agreement to divorce each other in a year. So why were they being so sweet and mushy? Were they just putting on a show for her? "Mr. Robinson." Nanny Harper came over with a struggled look on her face. Eventually, she took out what she brought. "Captain Robinson saw this and had a heart attack. Look at it." Seeing Nanny Harper's look, Jake knew it was nothing good. However, seeing what was written, he still became gloomy. Serena looked at it and immediately saw Carson Robinson's name. Grandpa Grandchild Test. 72.31%. Serena got closer and read the footnotes, feeling her heart sinking. Pinching her own arms, she looked up at Jake. Looking at him, Serena felt incredulous and stepped back. Gazing at the DNA report, her heart was wrenched. Jake still looked stern. Seeing how Serena's look had changed, he tightened his jawline. Turning his head, he gazed at Nola sharply. "You brought this?" Shocked by her son's look, Nola quickly bristled. "What's the attitude? Is that the way to talk to your mother?" "Was it you?" Staring at her, Jake tightened his grip on the test report. He wished he could tear the paper up and stuff it into his mother's mouth. A bit frightened, Nola said, "This is the test I did with your dad's hair and Lila's amniotic fluid. This morning, Lila brought me this test report. It says clearly that the baby she carries is your father's grandson." Looking at Jake and her mother-in-law, Serena suddenly felt her knees were weak. Grandpa was hardly surviving in the emergency room, and there was hard proof of the affair between Lila and Jake. She was crushed with bad news after bad news, which hit her like rocks, hard and heavy. Serena squatted and started to shudder. Noticing Serena's reaction, Nanny Harper came up and wanted to help her up. "Ma'am?" Seeing what was going on, Jake quickly came over. However, before he touched her, she quickly moved away. "Don't touch me!" Serena exclaimed hysterically, with her eyes full of tears. Feeling suffocated, Jake wanted to go up. Feeling nauseous, Serena kicked him in the chest and struggled with all her limbs, exclaiming, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" "Don't touch me. You're so dirty." Serena's voice turned into sobs and then a wail as she collapsed in Nanny Harper's arms. Seeing Serena like this, Nanny Harper felt terrible. Her eyes tearing up, Nanny Harper gave Jake a stare and condemned him. "You did this to her." Jake pursed his lips and only said, "Trust me." How could she trust him? The proof was right there. How could anyone trust him? Even Nanny Harper, who had brought Jake up, did not trust him. "It wasn't me." Jake grasped the report, gritted his teeth and squatted. "It was not me." Holding Nanny Harper, Serena cried out loud, unwilling to look back at him at all. The door of the emergency room finally opened. Serena immediately got up and ran towards the door. "How did it go?" The doctor dodged and said, "Luckily, the CPR was done in time. You need to pay attention and make sure that the patient not be exposed to violent emotions again. He needs to stay stable." Hearing that, Serena's heart was returned to its place. With a churning feeling in her chest, she blacked out and fell back.